I thought the hardest part of motherhood would be the sleepless nights, the sore body, the emotional whiplash of loving someone so tiny it hurts. I did not think the moment that would crack me open would be a phone call about health insurance. My husband and I are both 32. We've been together since we were 19, basically our entire adult lives. We're the kind of couple who planned everything, not maybe someday planned. I mean, spreadsheets, timelines, the whole responsible adult starter pack. We always agreed on one child, just one. And we'd do it when we were ready. There was a reason for that. His brother's life was cut short at just 5 months old because of a daycare worker back in 2017. It's a trauma that never really left their family. So for us, daycare wasn't just not ideal, it was a hard no. We both agreed that when we had a baby, I would stay home full time. That was the plan, the promise, the foundation. So we built our whole life around it. We waited years. We wanted the house, the stable careers, the savings, the investments, the safety net, the backup safety net, and then probably one more net for emotional support. 2 years ago, we were sitting on around 500,000 in investments. We had savings across different accounts, bonds, a home. We even bought a boat because apparently that's what you do when you're feeling financially invincible and mildly delusional. Finally, everything fell into place. We started trying. Now we have a perfect 4-week-old daughter. My pregnancy wasn't easy. At 5 months, I had a placenta abruption and had to stop working. That was scary like. Hold your breath for months, scary. But we got through it. She was born healthy, a good weight, and I recovered well. And my husband? He was incredible. He carried the load at home while still working full time. He was attentive, supportive, patient. The type of partner that makes you think, okay, we really did this right. Which is why what happened next felt like my reality got yanked sideways. Earlier this afternoon, I got a call from DHHS to go over insurance options for the baby. I'd already submitted our info social security numbers, dates of birth, the whole formal adult circus. I expected them to say we weren't eligible for state insurance. My husband has always told me his take-home pay was about $6,000 a month. Not struggling, but not rolling in piles of cash either. The woman on the phone confirmed we weren't eligible and said we'd need to add our daughter to private insurance. Totally fine. Then she casually mentioned his monthly gross was $10,920 and that the cutoff for state insurance was $7,830. I went quiet. I know the difference between gross and net. But even with taxes, that number didn't line up with the story I'd been hearing for months. Something felt off in that instant, like a smoke alarm going off in a room that looks perfectly normal. So, after I hung up, I did something I never thought I'd do. I opened his computer, I logged into his banking, and there it was. His monthly take home pay wasn't $6,000, it was closer to $8,500, and he'd been transferring everything over $6,000 into an account I didn't even know existed. I just stared at the screen like it was going to explain itself. It didn't. I confronted him the second he walked in. At first, he tried to talk around it, then his face collapsed, and the truth came out in pieces. I just wanted something that was only mine, only his. I felt a cold, slow burn start in my chest. Because every dollar I have ever made has gone into our joint account, an account he uses daily, for years. I didn't keep secret accounts. I didn't hide money. I didn't even mentally label my income as mine once we built a life together. And he had. Not just a little stash, not a rainy day cushion, over $45,000 $45,000 he quietly tucked away while I was pregnant, while I was medically forced out of work, while we were preparing to bring our daughter home. $45,000 he kept hidden. While last week he told me we shouldn't buy steak because $38 for two steaks was a waste of money. I don't know if I was more furious or more heartbroken. It wasn't just the money, it was the deception, the arrogance of it, the way it turned our marriage into a one-way mirror. He could see everything I was doing, everything I was contributing, while I was left trusting a version of reality he edited for me. In that moment, I didn't feel like a partner. I felt like a fool. So I said the thing that shocked even me. I'm putting the baby in daycare. I'm going back to work. His head snapped up like I'd thrown something at him. He started crying immediately. Real tears. The daycare trauma hit him like a wave. And I get it. I do. That grief is real. That fear is real. But so is mine. Because if he can hide money while I'm pregnant and vulnerable, what else can he hide when life gets hard? What happens if I stay home for years and one day he decides the account I didn't know about becomes the exit plan I didn't see coming? I told him I didn't trust him financially anymore. I told him I didn't feel secure. I told him the agreement we made was built on honesty, and he broke that first. He begged me to reconsider. He said it wasn't about leaving me. He insisted he just wanted a piece of independence. But what he called independence felt like insurance against me. And now I'm stuck in this awful space where I'm staring at two versions of the man I married. The man who held my hand through a high-risk pregnancy, and the man who looked me in the eye and quietly lied about our finances. So yeah, when he cried, I didn't fold. I said, I changed my mind. And I said, I don't care if he cries about it. Because I'm not punishing him. I'm protecting myself. And I'm protecting our daughter. If you were me, what would you do? Would you treat this like a huge betrayal? Or would you see it as a misguided attempt at personal security? Because right now, I'm trying to separate postpartum emotions from the simple truth that trust doesn't survive secrets like this. So tell me, did I go too far? Or is going back to work the smartest move I can make after finding out my husband has been quietly building a financial life I wasn't invited into?